What are ant expenses and how do they affect your personal finances? Ant expenses refer to small daily expenditures that, although seemingly insignificant, can add up and have a considerable impact on your personal finances over time. These expenses often go unnoticed because they do not represent large sums at the moment, but their constant accumulation can turn into a money drain that limits your ability to save or invest. Classic examples of ant expenses include the daily coffee from a cafe, bottled water or sodas, snacks or treats purchased outside the home, subscriptions to services you do not frequently use, unplanned tips or impulsive purchases. The key to understanding the impact of ant expenses lies in their frequency, not necessarily their individual amounts. For instance, spending $2 daily on coffee might seem trivial, but if you make this purchase every day for a year, you will have spent approximately $730 annually. How to identify ant expenses? The first step in tackling ant expenses is recognizing them. This requires a detailed analysis of your daily spending habits and tracking all your financial transactions, no matter how small. Here are some strategies to identify them. Record your daily expenses. Write down every expense, whether in cash or with a card, for a month. Use a notebook, a budgeting app, or a spreadsheet. Classify your expenses. Once recorded, categorize your expenditures. This will help you distinguish between necessary expenses, like rent or groceries, and ant expenses. Review your bank statements. Automatic payments, such as subscriptions or recurring purchases, may also fall into the category of ant expenses if you do not use them fully. Identify patterns. Pay attention to the times and places where you spend the most. For example, is it common for you to buy snacks when you're at the office or on your way home? Why is it important to reduce ant expenses? Although these expenses may seem insignificant, their cumulative impact can be surprising. Reducing them offers several benefits. Increase your savings. The money you stop spending on small indulgences can be redirected toward an emergency fund, investments, or long-term financial goals. Gain greater financial control. By being aware of your spending habits, you can prioritize your expenses and avoid unnecessary money leaks. Reduce financial stress. By eliminating unnecessary expenses, you are more likely to have money available to cover unexpected events, which decreases anxiety related to money. Strategies to avoid ant expenses. Tackling ant expenses requires habit changes and greater awareness of how you use your money. Here are some practical strategies to avoid them. 1. Create a budget and stick to it. A budget is an essential tool for managing your finances. By planning how you will spend your money, you can allocate a specific amount for personal expenses and limit unnecessary spending. Step 1. Determine your monthly income. Step 2. Identify your fixed expenses, rent, utilities, transportation. Step 3. Set limits for variable expenses and allocate an amount for savings. 2. Bring your own food and drinks. Preparing your coffee at home or bringing a water bottle to work may seem like a small change, but it is highly effective. Additionally, bringing healthy snacks from home not only saves you money but can also improve your health. 3. Eliminate or review your subscriptions. Review all subscriptions to streaming services, gyms, apps, and other recurring services. If you don't use them regularly, cancel them or look for more affordable options. 4. Avoid impulsive purchases. Before making an unplanned purchase, take a few minutes to evaluate whether you really need it. An effective technique is the 24-hour rule. Wait a day before buying something, and if you still want it, assess how it affects your budget. 5. Use financial control apps. Nowadays, many apps help you monitor your spending and send alerts when you are close to exceeding your budget in certain categories. Popular options include Mint, Inab, You Need a Budget, and Fintonic. 6. Set clear financial goals. Establishing concrete objectives, such as saving for a trip, buying a house, or building an emergency fund, motivates you to avoid ant expenses. Having a clear reason to save makes it easier to prioritize your resources. 7. Avoid carrying extra cash. If you tend to spend on small indulgences when you have cash, carry only what you need for your planned expenses. This limits your options and forces you to think twice before spending. 8. Create conscious consumption habits. Adopting a more conscious mindset about consumption can make a big difference. This includes being more selective with your purchases, prioritizing quality over quantity, reflecting on the real value of the products or services you consume, the long-term impact of reducing ant expenses. Eliminating or significantly reducing ant expenses can have a positive impact on your finances in the long run. For example, accumulated savings. Suppose you reduce your ant expenses by $5 daily. Over a year, you will have saved $1,825. If this amount is invested with an annual return of 5%, you could accumulate over $23,000 in 10 years. Greater financial freedom. By reducing unnecessary expenses, you can allocate more resources to meaningful goals, such as paying off debt or achieving financial independence. Healthy financial habits. The process of identifying and eliminating ant expenses fosters greater financial discipline, benefiting all aspects of your economic life. Ant expenses may seem harmless, but if left unchecked, they have the potential to sabotage your financial goals. By becoming aware of these small expenditures and adopting strategies to minimize them, you can optimize your resources and build a more stable and prosperous financial future. Like any habit change, it requires effort and consistency, but the results are worth it. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep watching quality content, don't forget to subscribe and give it a like. See you.